Sup, dudes and dudettes, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Nightbird and this is my third YouTube video. As promised on my previous video where I painted the Spider-Man, I did it guys! I finished the painting of Vi from the show Arcane, which is on Netflix, and I absolutely love it. This show is amazing! Like, it has everything: action, romance, comedy, wonderful art. I loved it. Like I mentioned in my other video, I was hesitant to watch it because I don't know much about video games, but it was worth it. Like, my new favorite song came from that show. And yes, I am actually planning on making more art based on this show. That's how much I liked it. So if you guys have not watched it yet, I highly recommend you guys to do that. So with that said, I'm not gonna give that many spoilers for this show. I am only gonna make a small announcement at the end of this video having to do what I'm gonna paint next. Okay, you guys, so I'm gonna tell you guys a story of something that happened to me this last week. It's a bit silly, you know, knowing that I'm an adult, but I'm a clumsy adult, so hey, don't judge me. Just kidding, go ahead. But, so I went to do the laundry, and when I was about to leave and I was putting all my stuff away, I was closing the trunk of my car, and I guess I miscalculated maybe, or maybe I got distracted, but I closed the trunk on my nose, and it left bruising. For those couple minutes, I was in a lot of pain, but thank God my nose didn't bleed. Back in the day when I was tinier than my usual self, when I was very young, my nose used to bleed quite a bit, so it was nice for it to not bleed. It was just a lot of pain, and it has not gotten fully recovered. It's kind of there, like it doesn't hurt when I touch my nose anymore, which is a great plus. But it still hurts whenever I sneeze, or sometimes when, like, if I feel like crying, my nose just starts hurting like crazy. Sometimes it gets a little hard to breathe as well. Like I have asthma, and usually like the cold air hurts my lungs sometimes a bit, but I have my inhaler for that. But like this time the cold air is actually like hurting my nose, which is crazy, and yeah, I should totally go to the doctor to talk about that, but I'm kind of hoping it might go away in a couple weeks, couple days, hopefully days, because it's being super annoying. Okay, but that was just a little thing that happened on the week. I did want to talk about something really personal, but since I have time to talk to you guys, why not tell like a story of back in the day when I was young and a scaredy cat. I'm a little bit of a scaredy cat nowadays, but not as much as I used to. So when I was like, 8 or 9 years old, there was this new trend going on in my school. Well, not only in my school, like kind of in the city where I was growing up in, and it was about having these kind of demonic dolls called elves, and they were really scary. I got traumatized by one of my uncles by watching Chucky too much when I was like 3 years old, so demonic dolls are like a big no-no to me, you know? But anyway, so I remember one of my friends, I would say, I remember her name was Lisbeth, and she mentioned that her aunt had 2 of these. One that was a good one and one that was an evil one or a mischievous one. She said that the good one had to drink beer and that the evil one had to drink like water with sugar or something like that, or honey. I don't remember, but it was something sweet. The fact that she was telling me that these little plastic dolls got up in the middle of the night to drink whatever corresponding drink they like each had was like a super terrifying thing to me. And whenever we went downtown to buy some supplies for my mom or for me or whatever we needed in downtown, there was this alley that had a bunch of them. And let me tell you, I did not want to miss this alley because near that alley they sold like some of the best treats I've ever tasted in my life. But the point is, I just didn't want to pass by that alley because it just had like a bunch of stores selling these little demonic dolls, and I was terrified of them. So what I would do is grab a stuffed animal, one of my favorite ones, and just like close my eyes and went running that alley just because I didn't want to see any of them. But in this specific day, I remember seeing one with like a white face, and like that image just stuck to my mind. I wasn't too worried, but it was still scary to me just thinking about these little things that might come to life at night or something. I was just terrified of that. And one of my uncles, my mom's brother, made it worse once we got home. And that's because when we got home, he said, oh, you shouldn't fear those things, because if you fear them and you see one like right in the eye, they're gonna follow you until you buy them. Imagine how I felt after seeing that white little elf. I was terrified. Whenever I would be by myself, I would look behind me, I would look around, because I thought that at any moment I was gonna see this little thing. Yeah, but those were really terrifying moments. He also mentioned that if that happens and I have to buy it, then I would have to burn that thing or some ritualistic thing, and I was just not wanting that at all. Yeah, that was awful. Awful times, and of course awful for little me, right? But yeah, this trend not only included like elves, it kind of also included gnomes and trolls. I just got scared of gnomes for a little bit, but not that much, because I actually think some of them are kind of cute, especially with the movie Romeo and Juliet. And also trolls, those I was definitely terrified of as well, but that kind of went away when the movie Trolls came out. I think the cute one, you know? So I think that really helped. It's a bit silly, but it did definitely help. And the main reason why I got scared of gnomes was because around the same time that I was scared of elves and all that crazy stuff with my uncle, my mom's brother told me, and etc., etc., I got sick. And my dad's brother, another one of my uncles, he's a doctor. So my mom and my dad took me to see him. They lived kind of far away in a very like kind of residential area, and that's when he told me. This uncle told me that the gnomes would kind of like come to life at night, some to do gardening stuff and others to actually like do mischievous stuff. And that is another thing that kind of terrified me, going back to the elf thing, because I thought they were kind of the same thing. I didn't really have a good idea of gnomes until later that my mom showed me a picture of what a gnome actually is, and cute ones too, so I wouldn't get scared. But my uncle told me that his daughter, one of my cousins, had them in her yard, and she didn't live like far from him. So I remember that once we like left his house, I didn't want to look outside just in case we saw my cousin's house. I was just like, nope, I don't want to see them. What if the same rule applies to these gnomes that the rule with the elves? And my other uncle told me. I was just like not having it. I didn't want to risk it. But anyway, that is just like a small scary occurrence that happened to me. I would actually love to hear about like you guys, like what scary experience did you guys have? It doesn't have to be with demonic dolls, it could be anything. I would very much love to hear that. I'm actually super excited to read that. And just a quick comment, the paints that I used for this painting, I bought them at Michael's, and they're approximately 59 cents each. There's so many colors. I love it, and it's such an economical choice if you guys want to try them out. By the way, I did have some small technical difficulties. My phone dared to run out of storage, so I'm so sorry for the inconvenience. If you guys want to check out my previous video where I drew the 3 Spider-Man, you can visit my channel or click the upcoming link. For my next video, I'm planning on painting, drumroll please, yes, Jinx from Arcane. So if you guys don't want to miss it, please subscribe and give a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye, birdies!